This time check is courtesy T&Z Home Improvement Centre, making home improvement easy.
Words of advice for the new central bank governor. A call for smaller cabinets and full-time parliamentarians. The Tobago Heritage Festival marks its silver anniversary as it opens. In sports news tonight, it's another vanilla performance from the West Indies against New Zealand in St. Kitts. Good evening and welcome to the weekend news here at CNC3. Our top story this evening. A senior economist who was in the running for the position of central bank governor says the man selected for the job must acknowledge that this economy is in a recession. UWI economist Dr. Danisha Mahabir says the new governor must work on restoring public confidence in the financial system after the CLICO HCU debacle. Ria Rambley reports.
Jwala Rambaran, the new central bank governor, will have his work cut out for him. Eminent UE economist Dr. Dineshwar Mahabir says, contrary to Rambaran's view that the country is not in a recession, the evidence shows that the financial environment is stagnant with negative growth. Dr. Mahabir says Mr. Rambaran must acknowledge this reality.
If we say that there is no recession, it means that there is nothing as usual. We have a laissez-faire approach and we will continue to slide for the next little while. If I think we admit that the problem exists, then we do know that there is scope for policy. We just have to decide what kind of policy intervention would be most appropriate at the monetary level and at the fiscal level.
So what should some of Mr. Rambaran's areas of focus be? Dr. Mahabir had these suggestions.
The current governor will have to do a lot of work to ensure that public confidence is restored in the regulatory arm of the state. A lot has been lost with respect to the HCU CLICO matter, and he will have to ensure that he regulates the entire financial sector so that public confidence and trust can be regained and restored. At this time in the financial history of Trinidad and Tobago, coming out of a great crisis, the HCU CLICO matter, I think it is important for first public confidence to be regained, but second, we do want to impress upon the international the business sector, including the multinational corporations and multilateral corporations, that Trinidad and Tobago is financially stable, that the currency is stable, and that monetary policy is very much in keeping with the Basel Accord, that there will be transparency in data and that we will date our business cycles, that we will admit when we have economic difficulties, and that we will know what kind of policy instruments to use.
Dr. Mahabir was in the running for the position himself. He told us he believes the government chose someone they felt most comfortable with.
It is very critical for members of a cabinet and for a government to feel that they are working in the central bank, although it's a very independent institution, that they are working with a particular institution, the central bank, that will be able to accommodate government's policy from time to time. And I think that this is where the trust and confidence would have rested.
For CNC3, I'm Ria Rambley.
The Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce has also extended congratulations to Jwala Rambaran on his appointment as the new governor of the central bank. The chamber notes, Mr. Rambaran has worked closely with the chamber over the years on several projects, all related to national and economic development. The business group says it looks forward to Rambaran dealing swiftly with the tasks at hand that will further help to encourage the growth and development of the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, how can Parliament become that much better? This was the question members of government and the opposition were asked to ponder as they attended a workshop in Tobago on strengthening Parliament and democracy. Opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley was brimming with suggestions, as Charlene Ramdani reports.
All 41 members of Parliament sat down in Tobago to ponder Parliament's progression or regression. Opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley had quite a few suggestions for progression. He believes there should be a better handle on how government spends outside of parliamentary sight.
And then the executive in all its forms, state enterprises, local government, cabinet, will go off and spend out of the sight of the Parliament. And then if one is to talk about oversight, it means that something has to come back to Parliament to comfort the Parliament that the executive has been spending according to the Parliament's wishes and expectations.
Linked to that point of spending, Dr. Rowley says the reports on spending take too long to be compiled, as the delays mean that the reports can become a waste of time.
They always come in a way that when you receive 2010 report in 2015, you're not even inclined to read it, because in the event that you are interested in anything there, you normally find that the water has long flowed under the bridge, and that is what exists.
The opposition leader's final suggestion for improving the efficiency of Parliament and democracy overall was smaller cabinets and full-time parliamentarians.
Proper parliamentary oversight would be just one of the objectives and can be achieved by smaller cabinets, larger parliamentary committees that are effective and operated by full-time parliamentarians in Trinidad and Tobago. There's no way that we are going to provide the expected oversight in multi-billion-dollar budgets by parliamentarians who are providing too few man-hours to supervise billions of dollars.
In her address, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar stated the intention of the workshop is to indeed address some of the issues which were highlighted by Dr. Rowley. She hopes that it is not just another talk shop, but will help improve Parliament.
And I do believe that we can make a change. With due respect, Dr. Rowley, I know we do a lot of talk shops, but it will be up to us as a Parliament and members of a Parliament to ensure that this is not just another talk shop, but that we will implement some of the recommendations that have come forward.
Reporting for CNC3 News, I'm Charlene Ramdani.
A man from Tobago is this country's latest murder victim. According to reports, 38-year-old Lincoln Ammon of Kokowati Trace, Mason Hall, Tobago, was shot while driving his vehicle in Barataria at around 9:15 last night. Police say the man was seen driving his pickup at a fast speed along 2nd Street, Barataria, when the vehicle came to a sudden stop at about 7th Avenue. The man exited the vehicle and then collapsed in a drain. Residents observed the vehicle and then made a report to the police. Officers from the Northeastern Division responded and they discovered Ammon with a gunshot wound to the chest. Further investigations revealed a bullet hole through the driver's side door. Officers rushed the man to the Port of Spain General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. And yet another pensioner has been brutally bludgeoned to death. Eyewitnesses say that 89-year-old Ivy Ann Porian of Railway Road, Siparia, was at home when a 30-year-old male relative came to visit her and then began acting erratically. During his tirade, the man reportedly killed a pet parrot before picking up a large stone and attacking the elderly woman, repeatedly hitting her on the head. Neighbors who heard the commotion rushed to the 89-year-old's defense and restrained the suspect until the police arrived. However, it was too late. The pensioner was already dead. Meanwhile, the attacker's wife, who was at the scene, began acting hysterically and was also arrested by the police. It has not been determined if that suspect had any history of mental illness. Cedros fishermen are reporting that the Venezuelan Guardia Nacional allegedly shot them in Trinidadian waters. Fisherman Jerry Paradath says on Friday morning, while fishing, a small Venezuelan Guardia Nacional vessel with 3 armed sailors chased them while shooting at them. The fishermen insist they were in Trinidad waters near the Red Channel Buoy on Icarca's side. Paradath claims the Venezuelan boat passed 3 local boats and went well into Trinidad waters in pursuit of his pirogue. When the Venezuelans eventually caught up with Paradath and his crew, he says the sailors instructed them to go to Venezuela, but they refused. Guns were at all times pointed on the Cedros fishermen as the sailors kept demanding that the locals go to Venezuela. The Venezuelan boat eventually headed back into Venezuelan waters, the fishermen report. The TT Coast Guard was alerted, but when they arrived, the action was all over. The fishermen are appealing to government to put in place a permanent solution to such occurrences. Let's take a short break. More of tonight's news straight ahead.
Seaview Optical announces its grand summer sale in July. Get 35% off all top designer frames. Prada, Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, Calvin Klein, Olga and Coach. Get 25% off all 2012 sunglasses. single vision lens with frame, $299. Bifocal lens with frame, $479. 3 locations: Diamond Village, San Fernando, High Street, Princestown, opposite Charlotte Street, and 51 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Seaview Optical, affordable eye care for everyone. Enjoy hassle-free shopping at South's premier beauty store, One Stop Beauty Essentials. They carry a wide range of leading brands and personal care products at reasonable prices, including cosmetics, fragrances, and everything for your nails and hair. 100% Remy, human and synthetic wigs, weaves, and braids are also available. Shop in comfort at One Stop Beauty Essentials, your one-stop beauty shop, conveniently located at 52 Sutton Street, San Fernando. Secure parking available. Like them on Facebook or call 652-0080.
I think as an artist, it's important to know who you are and what you're for. So it's good to come back home, come back to base, to my roots. If we are a dot, let's be the most creative, passionate, energetic dot they've ever seen. I for that. It's just that amazing simplicity that I love about Trinidad that continues to inspire me. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting I4TANDT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
Welcome back. With just 1 day to go before the new traffic regulations take place in Woodbrook, Arapita Avenue and on Tragreet Road, crews are fast at work installing the necessary signage needed to guide the public. CNC3 News caught up with one crew on Arapita Avenue installing the new one-way signs. Workers told us they were out since morning, along with other contractors, putting up designated signs as well as painting roadways. However, they are yet to put up major signs at the start of Arapita Avenue, Tragreet Road and in St. James. These dual carriageways have now been converted to one-way, but contractors say they still have 1 more day to go before everything is put in place. All signs along Arapita Avenue and Tragreet Road have been modified to face the direction of the new traffic flow on Monday. The Ministry of Works and Infrastructure launched an aggressive education campaign urging residents and commuters through the media to familiarize themselves with all these changes. As of midnight on Monday, the busy thoroughfare of Arapita Avenue will cease to be two-way and will then only accommodate eastbound traffic into the city. Tragreet Road will turn westbound all the way through St. James. The 25th Tobago Heritage Festival opened last evening. Hundreds of community performers will take part in this annual festival, which takes the efforts of thousands of people to prepare.
The Tobago Heritage Festival celebrated its silver anniversary when it opened last evening. The theme for the 25th edition of the Heritage Festival is Tobago Heritage, yours, mine, ours to preserve and protect. The next 3 weeks will showcase the rich African and European-influenced history of the island. And while the attention will be on culture, an appeal was made for the island's natural heritage to be remembered as well.
The words yours, mine and ours speaks to ownership. It speaks to the ownership of the average Tobagonian, the ownership of our heritage. It speaks to taking charge of our heritage. It speaks to taking control. And what is this heritage that we are told to preserve and to protect? Our heritage is this place and this beautiful island that we live in, this island called Tobago. It is our natural heritage, our rainforests, our beaches, the forts. And this you will see as the celebration unfolds and the festival unfolds. When you go to Charlottesville, you will see our natural heritage.
As for the cultural aspect, preservation is also seen as the key here as well.
We will witness as many as 400 individuals representing over 40 groups and villages from various parts of the island, showcasing their talents and skills in the quest to preserving our heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tobago House of Assembly, through the Division of Community Development and Culture, continues to prepare our people for the development of the creative industries by providing opportunities for training in our schools and even in our communities.
Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Orville London, asked for Tobagonians to be more appreciative of their heritage.
But I want to suggest that the Heritage Festival is not just about entertainment or even mainly about entertainment. The Heritage Festival is about the appreciation of and the pride in the resilience of our ancestors and the richness of our heritage. The Tobago Heritage Festival is a reminder that our ancestors survived, endured, and finally triumphed over every adversity. And therefore it must be an inspiration to us, so that as we are entertained and sensitized and educated, let us as Tobagonians be inspired and strengthened by the examples from our past.
Be sure to check the daily newspapers for the schedule of activities. Reporting for CNC3 News, I'm Charlene Ramdani.
Despite police warnings for citizens to be careful while driving this weekend, 2 lives were lost on the nation's roads within the last 24 hours. In the latest incident, TV6 employee Kevin Ward was killed when a maxi taxi slammed into the car in which he was traveling. The accident occurred just around 6 this morning in the vicinity of 6th Street, Barataria. We understand that Ward was the front seat passenger and he died on impact. The driver of the car, another passenger, and the maxi taxi driver have all been hospitalized. Ward worked as a video editor at TV6 for just about a year. And earlier this morning, another life was lost at around 2 o'clock. Jesse Mark from Railway Road Extension in Sangre Grande was driving his Nissan Almira in the Valencia area when he lost control and crashed into a light pole. Mark died on impact. A passenger in the vehicle, 21-year-old Cordell Moore, sustained serious injuries and was rushed to the Sangre Grande Health Facility, where currently he is fighting for his life. Coming up this evening's sports coverage, the West Indies defeated New Zealand in the 4th One-Day International in St. Kitts to score a series win. Adrian Barrett named in the West Indies President's 11. Malik City defeat Real Dimension in league fixture, and also coming up in sport, Amir Khan and Danny Garcia square off in light welterweight unification title match. Details ahead.
It's our mission. This is our vision. Making it happen. We're making a difference. Here and now, across the land, Trinidad and Tobago. Open your eyes, realize there's so much waiting for you.
Republic Bank Limited, in collaboration with TNT Blind Welfare Association, present Vision Caravan from May to September 2012 throughout rural Trinidad and Tobago. Come, have your eyes tested and experience a new vision. See press for details.
Open your eyes, become aware, make use of what's here for you. Be part of the vision now.
In celebration of Republic Bank's 175th anniversary, Vision Caravan.
And Tobago, come support our Calypso girls as they battle against the Caribbean, USA, and Canada at the Americas Federation of Netball Associations Championship 2012 at the Jean Pierre Complex, Port of Spain, July 14th to the 21st. Giveaways and door prizes to be won. Get your daily $20 tickets now. Available at TTNA box office. Jean Pierre Complex complements the Ministry of Sport, the Sports Company, Blue Water, Monster Energy Drink, Malta Carrot, and National Flour Mills.
Here's sport now, as the West Indies defeated New Zealand in the 4th One-Day International at Warner Park to win the series by a 3-1 margin. The West Indies were dismissed for 264 at their turn at the crease, while New Zealand led a century by skipper Ross Taylor, and that threatened to take the game away from the home team. Astor Ran has all the details.
The West Indies electing to bat after winning the toss. Lost Johnson Charles, caught by Williamson of Bracewell for 1 for 17. The big hit in Chris Gale fell 2 runs later, leg before to Tim Southey for 16, 2 for 19. Dwayne Smith also fell cheaply in the same over, caught by Ross Taylor in the slip region of Tim Southey for no score, 3 for 20. Dwayne Bravo and Marlon Samuels attempted to check the slide with their counter-attack. Bravo, having been given a life in his innings, hold out to bolt of Jacob Oram for 18, 4 for 59. Samuels and Kyron Pollard added 46, with Samuels leading the charge. But with the score getting to 105, Samuels was led before to Nathan McCullum for 46, 5 for 105.
Got the wicket.
Pollard and wicketkeeper Devon Thomas repaired the innings, adding 85 before Thomas was caught by Guptill of Bolt for 37. Pollard, having reached 50, was caught by Brendan McCullum of Orem for 56, 7 for 202. Skipper Darren Sammy hit a rapid 26 of 22 deliveries before he was caught by Guptill of the bowling of Bolt, 8 for 234. The West Indies added 29 more runs as they were dismissed for 264 in 49 overs and 5 deliveries. New Zealand in reply were off to a poor start as Martin Guptill fell with the score on 8 leg before to Tino Best for no score. Brendan McCullum and Rod Nicol added 42 before McCullum was caught by Sammy of the bowling of Andre Russell for 10, 2 for 50. Rob Nicol fell with a score on 63, caught by Bravo of Darren Sammy for 35. Kane Williamson was leg before to Sulin Narayan for 3, 4 for 75. Ross Taylor and Todd Layton kept New Zealand in the hunt with a 70-run partnership before Layton was caught at the wicket of Samuels for 32, 5 for 146. Ross Taylor hammered Russell on his way to his 100, hitting him for 21 and over, and it included 5 sixes and 6 fours. With New Zealand needing 31 of 18 deliveries, mainstay Taylor was caught by Sammy for 110 of the bowling of Tino Best. It was all over for New Zealand as the last wicket ended by the run-out route. They were all out for 240, giving the West Indies victory by 24 runs with 3 deliveries remaining. And the West Indies won the series by a 3-1 margin. Best finished with figures of 4 for 46 of his 10 overs. Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Astil Wren.
Let's stay with cricket now. The West Indies selection panel has picked a very experienced President's 11 to face New Zealand in a 3-match starting on Friday in Antigua. Included in the squad are Test players Adrian Barrett, Shiv Chanderpaul, Narayan Singh Deonarayan, Kirk Edwards, Shane Shillingford and Kemar Roach. The full squad reads like this: Veerasamy Permaul, captain; Adrian Barrett, Narsingh Deonarayan, Kirk Edwards, Asad Fudadin, DeLorne Johnson, Kevin McLean, Kieran Powell, Kemar Roach, Shane Shillingford, Devon Thomas. Darren Bravo was not considered for selection as he has not yet fully recovered from his groin injury. Now, this country's national 4x100 meters relay squad was in winner's row at the Aviva Grand Prix at Crystal Palace. With Olympic silver medalist Richard Thompson running in the anchor leg, the national squad won the event time in 38.23 seconds. The other runners were Keston Bledman, Mark Burns and Emmanuel Callender. The national men's relay squad got the better of France, Great Britain and Poland. The FA Cup qualifiers, Real Dimension tasted defeat one day after getting into the final of the competition. Real Dimension came up against Malik City in a league fixture at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Malabar Arima last evening. And following the kickoff, Malik took the lead from this right-sided attack at which Ashley Alonso got her name on the score sheets in the 31st minute of the exchanges. Malik held on to that 1-0 advantage at the end of the half. In the second half, the scoreline remained the same. Malik, although, created a few chances, such as the one you saw. At the end of regular time, Malik City came away the winners by a 1-0 margin. On to netball. It was the inclement weather that forced the local organising committee, headed by Carol Charles Austin, to move the opening ceremony of the AFNA Netball Championship from outside of the Jean Pay complex into the covered area. There was quite a large turnout of dignitaries and spectators, and they were not disappointed. The opening ceremony was very impressive, with all of the visiting 8 countries, including the host, parading in national colours. This country's national team, led by Anika Larush, met Guyana in the opening game of the competition. 3 matches are carded to be played each day, and the tournament is carded to run for a full 8 days. The British boxer Amir Khan faces Danny Garcia in a light welterweight unification title match in Las Vegas, and it promises to be a tough test for each fighter.
It became a unification event a few days ago when Khan was reinstated as WBA champion. He had previously lost that belt to Lamont Peterson in a disputed split decision. But the rematch against Peterson was cancelled after the American failed a drugs test. That then gave Khan back his title. So he'll face Garcia, who's the WBC champion. Both camps confident of victory.
I think he tried to show him that he's a little bit brave, and he kept, coming forward a little bit. I was just chill there, calm, because I know tomorrow's the main fight. I think he seemed like he wanted to fight now, so I can see he's on the edge. He's a little bit, he's wound up a little bit, but I'm nice and calm, chilled. I'm gonna go home, have some nice dinner now, and chill out.
He's scared. He's in for a fight. He knows he's in for a big fight. He got himself into something that he didn't know he was gonna get himself into, and I'm just ready to fight.
International news and a look at the weekend weather when we come back.
This is Let's Talk Tobago. Be viewing Let's Talk Tobago every Sunday at 6:25 p.m. on CNC3. Let's Talk Tobago, keeping you abreast of Tobago's development. Join us every Sunday at 6:25 p.m. as we talk Tobago, and let's build the nation of Trinidad and Tobago together.
A well-known Afghan politician and about 20 other people have all been killed in a suicide attack. An ethnic Uzbek MP was attending a wedding party for his daughter in the provincial capital when the deadly blast occurred.
The remains of an ornate wedding hall where hundreds of guests had gathered, shattered by the impact of a bomb. Ahmed Khan, the father of the bride, had been greeting guests and supporters, among them the suicide bomber, who waited until he embraced the politician before detonating the explosives he carried to ensure he would kill his target. Others who were killed included the head of Afghan intelligence in the province, the NDS. Ahmed Khan had many enemies from his time as a Mujahideen fighter in the 1980s, allying and splitting with key northern figures such as General Dostum and Mohammed Atta in the vicious civil war of the early 1990s before the emergence of the Taliban.
A shark has attacked and killed a man who was surfing off the coast of Western Australia. This is the 5th fatal shark attack in that region over the last 10 months.
This was the scene of the attack, Wedge Island, about 160 kilometres north of Perth, on Australia's west coast. Police, paramedics and eyewitnesses gathered on the beach shortly after the incident. The man had been paddling on his surfboard when he was struck by what's believed to have been a 5-metre-long great white shark. Others in the water describe what happened.
There was just blood everywhere, and a massive white shark circling the body to half the torso that was left. And I reached to grab the body, and the shark came at me on the jet ski and tried to knock me off.
This is the 5th fatal shark attack in Western Australia in less than a year. On average, there's only about one such attack in the whole of Australia each year. The authorities don't know why there's been a jump in the number of incidents, but have ruled out a cull of sharks after objections by animal rights groups. The beaches in this area have been closed as the investigation continues.
Now a look at the weather forecast. The Met Office says Trinidad and Tobago can expect brief showers in confined areas after midnight tonight. Tomorrow, expect long sunny spells and breezy conditions with brief afternoon showers again in confined areas. The